In this lesson, we're going to learn about a strategy called Guess, Check, and Revise. This is a strategy that you can use when solving word problems. The essential question asks, how can I solve problems by using the strategy Guess, Check, and Revise? Well, let's take a look at a problem, and we'll see how we can solve it using this strategy. The Girls Club is planning a camping trip to the Ocala National Forest. The club has $1,100 to buy tents. The girls want to buy tents that are all the same size and need to have enough room for 50 people. Which size of tent should they buy? How much money will they have left over? Now here are the prices for the tents for camping. A 2-person tent is $68, a 3-person tent is $75, and a 4-person tent is $79. Now let's look at our chart here that's going to help us use this strategy and solve the problem. What do I need to find? Well, there are 2 questions really. The size of the tent, and then how much money is going to be left over. Size of tent and money left over. What information do I need to use? Well, I know that the club has $1,100 to spend on same-size tents for 50 people. The tents cost $68, $75, and $79. So how am I going to use this information? I can guess which tent the club will buy. Then I can check my guess. And if needed, I can change my guess and try again. So let's solve the problem. I'm guessing here first that they're going to buy a 2-person tent. So I'm going to divide $1,100 by 68 because that's how much each tent costs. I can see here that I have 110 tens that I'm putting into 68 groups. That's 1 in each group. So I'm going to use up $68 in the groups. I'm going to have 42 tens left over that won't fit into groups. So I'm going to break that up into 421s. And then I'm going to divide my 421s into 68 groups. I think that there's going to be 6 in each group. So if I have 68 groups of 6, that's 68 times 6, that's 408. That leaves me 12 ones left over. So my quotient is 16 remainder 12. So let's check and see if that's enough tents to fit all 50 people. 16 tents with 2 people each is 32 people. Nope, that's not going to work, so I need to try a larger tent. So this time, let's try a 3-person tent. A 3-person tent costs $75, so I'm going to divide my $1,100 by 75. Now, I know that I'm going to have to use tens, and I have 110 tens that I'm going to put into 75 groups. I'm only going to be able to put 1 in each group, and that's going to leave me with using up 75 in the groups, and then I need to subtract. I'm going to have to regroup here and make that a 10, and then I'm going to take away 1 of those 10s. So I'm going to see here that when I subtract 110 minus 75, that's going to give me 35. I have 35 10s left over that won't fit into the groups. So now I'm going to break them up, and that's going to leave me with 351s. Now I have to estimate how many times 75 is going to fit into 350. Well, I'm going to tell you a little trick. When I think of 75, I think of money. I'm thinking of 3/4. And if I have 75 and 75, I know that that's going to give me 150 because that's 6/4. And 6/4 is $1.50. So 150. So if I have another 75 and 75, that's going to give me another 150. And I know that 150 and 150 is 300. That's as close as I'm going to get with 75. So I'm going to say here that it's going to go into it 4 times. I know that 4 groups of 75 is 300. and there's 50 left over, and that's not enough to go into each group. So my quotient is 14 remainder 50. Now if I have 14 tents and 3 people can fit in each tent, let's check and see if that's enough to fit all 50 people. I'm going to show my work over here, 14 times 3. And I see that that will only fit 42 people. So I still need to try a larger tent. Well, it looks like we're going to have to try our 4-person tent. So let's divide 79 into 1,100. Again, I'm going to have to divide my tens, so I'm going to put 1 10 in each group. I'm going to use up 79 of those tens, and then I'm going to subtract and see that there are 31 tens left that won't fit into my 79 groups because I don't have enough to put another one in each group. So I need to regroup my 31 tens and make it 310 ones. And I'm going to put those 310 ones into my 79 groups. Well, when I estimate this is 80, I know that 80, or 8, will go into 28 3 times, will go into 24 3 times, and 8 times 4 is 32, which is too high. So I'm going to try 3 as my estimate here. So 79 times 3, because I'm putting 3 of my ones into each of the 79 groups. So this is going to give me 237. When I subtract 310 minus 237, that's going to give me 73, which is not enough to put another one in each group. So 3 was a good estimate. So I'm going to say that my quotient is 13 remainder 73. But let's see if 13 4-person tents is going to be enough. So we need to check that. We need to do 13 times 4. So let's do our work here. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 52, that is enough people, and there is no need to revise. So I can see that the girls should buy the 4-person tent, and they're going to have $73 left over. Now it's your turn to try this guess, check, and revise strategy. If you need a review, you can always come back and watch this video.